work so you can play. MiniWarGaming's The Fate of Fayoom.
Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and what you are about to see is the start of a new campaign. Now, this is not the worldwide Tyranid campaign that I've been talking about, so if you're thinking it's that, we're not doing that yet. This is going to be the story of a Necron Tomb World that has awoken to find that its planet has been infested by Tyranids. Now, at this point, when they wake up, the world of Pictoris, which has been discovered by the Imperium but hasn't been settled, so there's no Imperial Guard or Space Marines or even humans on it. There is a native alien population that's like very primitive. The Tomb World wakes up, Tomb World Fayoom, led by Overlord Sobek, and they're ticked off, first off, to find out that the world that they once owned is now inhabited by these primitives, and it just like makes them feel disgusted. They don't want to have anything to do with these guys. And so they set out to cleanse the world. Now they've only just started to awaken, so they don't have their full forces, but why would you need your full forces against a native population that's not even in like an industrial age? They're still going around hunting with clubs and with spears and things like that. However, as they start to awaken and go out, some of their soldiers come under attack. And it's by a force that's much stronger than what they had thought the native population was capable of. And that is how they first come into contact with the vanguard of Hive Fleet Charon. Now, this fleet has not yet arrived, but has started to infest the world of Pictoris, or Fayoum, if you are Necron. And they are there just starting to get ready for the Hive Fleet to arrive. And they didn't know that the Necrons were there either. And so all of a sudden, they have to start to adapt their tactics to prepare a Necron Tomb World for the arrival of a Hive Fleet. So both of these forces have not really dealt with each other before. The Necrons have no idea who the Tyranids are, and the Tyranids don't really know what the Necrons are, although they're confused because they don't have any biomass. And so they kind of look at them not as prey, but as competing predators, just like other Hive Fleets in the past have done against other armies such as the demons. But they do have to do something about this because this world is rich in biomass, and this Hive Fleet Charon is just arriving in the galaxy and needs to replenish its reserves after having been in the void for so long. So the way this campaign is going to work is that each stage of the campaign, we're going to have 6 stages. I think it's going to be 6 stages, and each of them will be 2 battle reports. And I'm going to present our Necron player, Steve, who you will meet in just a moment, with 2 missions that he has to complete. And each of them will give him certain advantages, or it will stop the Tyranids from getting certain advantages if he completes them properly. However, each time he's going to have to choose which one he wants to focus his efforts on. And in that one, he'll get to put more points into it. And the other one, he'll have to put in less points. So he'll be at a disadvantage in the one and an advantage in the other. And the outcome of each level mission will affect the next level in the narrative. So I have not predetermined who is going to win. I haven't even created all of the missions yet because I want to kind of have this create itself as we look at the results of each of the previous missions. So today, what you're going to see are Mission 1A and Mission 1B. Mission 1A is going to be here on YouTube for free, and Mission 1B is going to be exclusive to Vault members. And of course, if you're not a Vault member, you can click on the link below to go to the next battle report, and you can sign up for free for 7 days and watch it today without paying anything. And then we hope that you'll stay in the Vault and stick around. So what are the 2 missions for today? Well, obviously they deal with smaller level armies, and they deal with a vanguard infestation. So the first mission, what has happened is the Necrons have an outpost that has gone silent, and they're trying to figure out what happened. And so they've sent a small force to investigate. However, between where the force was and where the outpost is a very dense forest. And as they're going through this forest, they get ambushed by a Vanguard Genestealer, Lictor, and Gargoyle group. And the second mission, they have discovered a Genestealer infestation in one of the cities, in a ruined city. And in there, they have found a very powerful creature. And of course, this is a Tyranid Broodlord. And they need to hunt him down and destroy him because he is leading a good portion of the Vanguard forces. And they want to destroy him so that they can, well, just like you cut off a leader and it makes the rest of the forces much less effective. So Steve had to choose between these two, and he decided to put the larger force against the one that's going after the Broodlord, and the smaller force, which is going in the scenario to try to get through the forest and get through the ambush. We'll give you full details in the actual battle report itself. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this. And remember a couple things that I want to point out. These missions are not created to be competitive, and they're not even created to be balanced. They're created to have a story. So you should expect unbalance, and in fact, I would want that, and that presents a challenge for the Tyranid or Necron player, whoever happens to be at the disadvantage for that mission, and forces them to try to overcome those problems. And whatever the outcome of those does contribute to the rest of the story. So just like in a real war, you wouldn't have equal forces with equal playing fields. This narrative campaign is detailed the same way, it's created the same way. Whereas in a tournament, of course, you'd want it as balanced as possible so that everybody has a fair chance of winning. There's no fairness in war. So let's jump right into it and enjoy, and happy wargaming. Is that a Necron outpost went silent, and a Necron force, right here, has been sent to investigate and reinforce or whatever it has to do. En route, it comes through this very dense forest, and it's so dense that we're going to be using night fighting rules for the entire game, not just for the first or last few turns. And while they're coming through this forest, they get ambushed. And this force that they're ambushed by is a Gene Stealer, Lictor, Gargoyle, Spore Mine force.